Welcome dear students. Let's once again continue with lesson number 8, Computer Startup and Shutdown. In our previous video, we have learned that how can we start a computer. Along with it, we have also learned two new terms. These were booting and desktop. In an animated video, I show you that how can we start a desktop computer. To start a desktop computer, we have to follow the following steps. Number 1 is switch on the power supply. Number 2, switch on UPS. Number 3, switch on CPU. Number 4, switch on monitor. When we follow these steps, only then we can start a computer. Next is booting. Booting is the sequence of actions done by the computer when it is switched on. You might have seen that whenever we switch on the monitor, then it takes some time to show us the screen. That time is known as the booting or startup. And when the computer gets started, then the first screen that appears in front of us is known as the desktop. So dear students, today we will learn the concept of username and password. Along with it, we will also learn that how can we shut down the computer. So now next is username and password. Whenever any stranger try to come in our house, do we allow him or her to enter the house? Definitely no, because he is unknown to us. So to protect ourselves, we will not allow any stranger to come inside. Same we will do with our devices also. You might have seen such type of a pattern whenever you try to on your parents' phone. When you draw the pattern, only then you can enter to the phone. You can use the phone. But if you will draw the incorrect pattern, then you cannot use the phone. Same with the computers also. If we want to protect our computer, then we have to set the password for the computer. Here, as you can see that if we enter the username and password here, only then we can use the computers. If we will type the wrong password, then we can't use the computer. As you can see here, the computer is asking for us username and password. Now username, as the name indicates, user name means the name of the user, means the name of the user who is going to use the computer. If you have already told to the computer that Jyoti is one of the user who can use this computer, computer will allow her to use it. Otherwise, it will not allow anyone to enter into the computer. Along with the username, the user has to type the password also. If you will type the correct password, only then you can use the computer. If you forget your password or you have typed the wrong password, then the computer will not allow you to use it. So whenever you are using the computer, then you should know your name, your username and your password. One thing more I want to tell you here, that password is like a secret key to us. Secret key means a key which we can't share with anyone. So whenever you are putting a password on any computer or on your phone, and if you do not want that any other person, a stranger to you, use your computer or your phone, then we can keep a password over there. As you can see on the screen, that password is every alphabet, every character that we have typed here, it has been replaced by a dot. Here these are the bigger dots, so that no one can see your password. That is why I told you that password is a secret key and we should not share our secret key with anyone. So dear students, let's go back to the reading of the lesson. In last video, we have read up to page number 116. So let's start reading with page number 117. Now Jyoti All students have their own username and password to log in into the computer. Mose is saying correct. The username is also called login. Once you enter the username and password, you will be logged in into the computer. Login and password. Please underline the lines under the concept folder. When a computer is used by more than one user, then each user is given a username and password to access it. If the username and password are not typed correctly, then the dialog box prompts you to enter them again. If you and your brother or your sister, if all of you are using the same computer and you do not want that your brother or sister looks into your computer, for that you can use your username and password. You can secure your information, your data, your files by setting your username and password. So for that you have to tell to the computer what is going to be your username and what will be your password. And you have to remember the password. Whenever you will start the computer, you have to enter the password into the computer. If you will type the password correctly, only then you can use the computer. Next, Tejas, now that I have my own username and password, will Jyoti able to see my files when she logs in? Then Mose is saying no. Each user sees only their own desktop and files created by them. Then Jyoti is saying, I can now have a different wallpaper on my desktop. Now here the word wallpaper basically the picture on the desktop. Wallpaper means the picture on the desktop is known as the wallpaper. Next page. Moses saying you have to log out of the computer using the logout icon. It is just like locking the door of your house when you go out. Logout is also called sign out. Now, as we are having a lock with a key, whenever we want to go outside, then we used to put a lock on the door and we keep the key with us. Same thing we can do with the computers also. For example, if your computer is being shared by your brother or your sister, then you can save or secure your data from them. How can we do? We can do with the help of login, username and password option. And whenever we have done we have done our work and we want to move out, for that what we will do, we will select the logout option. Now where we will do the where we will get the logout option, we can get the logout option on the start button. When we click on the start button, then it will ask us about the log out. Then Moses saying, yes, shut down option near the logout icon to turn off the computer. Please note that it takes some time to shut down. Now, what is the meaning of shutdown? Shutdown means to close the computer completely. If you have done your work and you want to go play outside, for before going you have to shut down your computer. Shutdown means every activities, every application, every file that you have opened on your computer, you have to close all those files before leaving the computer. That is known as the shutdown. This is because the computer closes the activities that it is started at the time of booting. We should not switch off the power till this is complete. Next is shutdown. Please underline the line. Shutdown is the action of closing all the activities and turning the computer off. When you will do your work and your work get finished, then what you will do? You will close each and every file, and after closing the file you will click on the switch off button or shutdown button. When you will click on the shutdown button, then it will shut down. It will close all the files that it has already loaded when it gets started. So whenever we are shutting down the computer means we are closing the computer completely. Next page. Then Jyoti is saying, light on the CPU is turned off now. Let us switch off the monitor too. Moz switches off the power supply after the shutdown procedure is completed. I have shared one animated video with you where it has been shown that how can we shut down or how can we start our computer. Now, how can we do the shutdown of computer? To shut down a computer, select shutdown option from the dialog box. The electric supply to the computer should be switched off only after the lights on the computer go off. As you can see on the screen, that whenever we try to shut down or whenever we shut down the computer, then there is always these options come. One is the restart, second is shutdown, and third one is sleep. When we click on the shutdown button, then that means the computer will be shut down completely. Whenever we click on the restart button, that means the computer will restart it. And when we click on the sleep button, then the computer will go for a sleep for a few time. Same thing here, Tejas is asking. While shutting down a computer, I remember seeing an option which said suspend. What is it for? Then Moses replying, very good observation. You use suspend or sleep mode if you won't be using the computer for some time and don't want to close your files and applications. This mode saves your open applications and uses very little power. Once the computer is powered back on, it will start from where you left off. For example, if your mother has called you and you are painting on the computer, if if you leave the computer, shut down the computer, then that means your work